Today, as I'm sitting at my desk, thinking about what to share with you on English snacks, one sound keeps arriving. Can you hear it? The birds are singing today. How do you feel when you hear birds? I'm guessing calm, maybe even happy. Today, I'm going to explain to you why we feel this way, because scientists have actually studied this, and what they've discovered about birdsong and the human brain is absolutely fascinating. Hi, I'm Amber. Welcome back to English Snacks. First, let's talk about what birdsong actually is. Birds sing for many reasons: to attract a mate or find a partner, to defend their territory, telling other birds, "This is my space, stay away." And sometimes, scientists believe, simply because they are in good health and high spirits. Birdsong is incredibly complex. Some species, like the nightingale, can make over 1,000 different sounds. The lyrebird in Australia can mimic almost any sound it hears, from other birds to chainsaws and even camera shutters. The song of the blackbird, which you hear across the UK and Europe, is so rich and melodic that composers have actually written it into classical music. So what makes birdsong especially interesting for us is that our brain responds in a very specific way, and that response is deeply calming. Let's look at the science behind this. Researchers have actually measured it. A major study published by researchers at King's College London found that listening to birdsong was linked to reductions in anxiety, depression, and paranoia. The effect lasted for several hours after hearing the birds. In another study published in the journal Scientific Reports, participants who listened to birdsong showed measurable reductions in stress, lower heart rates, lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol in their blood. And in a wonderful experiment in the UK, researchers played birdsong recordings in hospitals. Patients who heard birdsong reported feeling less pain and recovered faster than those in quiet rooms. So why does this happen? The leading theory comes from evolutionary psychology, the study of how our ancient past shapes our modern minds. For most of human history, birdsong meant something very important. It meant the environment is safe. Birds fall silent when predators are nearby. They stop singing when there is danger. So when our ancestors heard birds singing freely, it was a signal. Everything is okay. You can relax. That ancient signal is still wired in our brains today. When we hear birds, a deep, primitive part of our brain receives the same message. No danger. You can rest. Researchers call this the stress recovery theory. The natural sounds we evolved alongside, like birdsong, running water, wind in trees, help our nervous system return to a calm, rested state. The modern world, full of traffic noise, notifications, and artificial sound, keeps our nervous systems slightly on edge almost all the time. Birdsong, however, gives our brains permission to switch off. Birdsong is what scientists call intermittent, meaning it comes and goes. A bird sings, then pauses, then sings again. This rhythm, scientists believe, is part of what makes it so soothing. It is never constant enough to be intrusive, and never silent enough to feel empty. It fills the air without demanding your attention. Compare that to the sound of traffic or a television in the background. Those sounds are also intermittent, but they are unpredictable and often sharp. A car horn, a siren, a sudden loud voice. These sounds trigger a small stress response in the brain. Birdsong, by contrast, is gentle and patterned. Your brain learns its rhythm and relaxes while hearing it. One last beautiful piece of research to leave you with. A team of researchers in Germany asked people to spend time in urban environments, cities and towns, and rate their sense of well-being. The single strongest predictor of how good people felt was not green space, not sunshine, not even being with friends. It was the number of bird species they could hear. More varieties of birdsong, more species singing at the same time, meant significantly higher well-being scores. The researchers called it a kind of acoustic richness, the idea that a variety of natural sounds creates an environment where the human mind gently flourishes. So next time you step outside and hear a bird singing, stop for just a moment. Listen. Let your brain do what human brains have been doing for thousands of years. Some questions for you this week. Do you have a favorite natural sound? What is it? And how does it make you feel? Are there birds where you live? Do you ever stop to listen to them? If you have a minute, please leave a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this podcast. It helps spread the word about English snacks. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. We covered some advanced vocabulary today, so feel free to read the transcript and check the show notes. In there, you'll find a free activity to build your vocabulary even more. I'm looking forward to sharing more English snacks with you soon. So as always, come hungry for knowledge.